Yes, we found the map!
Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires brought back Milo Manheim and Meg Donnelly as Zed and Addison, characters fans have followed since the beginning. This time around, though, the duo didn't just act in the movie, they were also invited as executive producers. That kind of shift reflects what the movie itself is doing, gradually passing the spotlight to a new generation of characters. The story now includes Victor, a young vampire played by Malachi Barton, and Nova, a daywalker played by Freya Skye. Zed and Addison take on more of a mentor role, helping Victor and Nova navigate a budding romance while also working to bring peace between their respective communities. During a recent interview with Deadline, both Milo and Meg opened up about the future of the Zombies franchise. When asked about the possibility of a Zombies 5, neither of them outright confirmed they'd return as characters, but they didn't rule it out either. Milo shared that one of the coolest things about the Zombies world is how open-ended it is. According to him, it could really go in any direction, and honestly, the world could always use one more Zombies movie. Meg added that to her, this is just the beginning for Victor and Nova. She thinks their story still needs more time to unfold. Milo even drew a parallel, suggesting that the first 3 movies worked like a self-contained trilogy, while this new chapter could be the kickoff to a brand new one. So even though they might not be in the next film the way they were in the past, both actors clearly feel there's more story to tell, and that sense of continuation doesn't come out of nowhere. The ending of Zombies 4 actually sets things up for future developments. Zed and Addison's goodbye moment even includes a line from the song Possible, where Addison literally sings about passing the torch. That lyric isn't just poetic, it's intentional. It reflects the broader handoff from the original characters to the new ones, and signals the beginning of a fresh storyline. Still, whether Zombies 5 happens really depends on how well Dawn of the Vampires performs on Disney+. The streaming platform is likely keeping a close eye on how many people watch it, especially within the first month. If it manages to pull in good numbers and proves financially worthwhile, like the previous Zombies movies did, then a 5th installment will probably be on the table. Even if Milo and Meg don't come back to play Zed and Addison on screen, there's still a good chance they could stick around as executive producers. That would let them help shape the story behind the scenes and ensure it stays true to what fans already love. Plus, having them involved in marketing would boost visibility for the next movie. But the big question now is, can the Zombies franchise really work without Zed and Addison leading the charge? In Zombies 4, the cast already looked a lot different. Only a small group of original characters returned: Zed, Addison, Willa, and Eliza. Most of the recurring characters from the earlier films were missing. Even though Victor and Nova were given a strong introduction, some fans feel like they're a little too similar to Zed and Addison to truly stand on their own. We've seen Disney Channel franchises try to reboot or refresh before. Descendants recently did this with The Rise of Red, introducing a new generation while phasing out the original cast. But if we look at past patterns like with High School Musical and Teen Beach Movie, these kinds of series usually wind down once the core cast moves on. So even though Manheim and Donnelly seem supportive of the idea of more movies, the franchise might have trouble gaining the same kind of momentum without them front and center. The end of Zombies 4 wraps up with all the characters, old and new, learning some pretty important lessons. The movie builds toward a big moment where vampires and daywalkers are nearly at war, thanks to long-standing distrust and a history of conflict. Nova's father, Commander Bright, pushes her to take all of the blood fruit for their own tribe, while Eldris, the vampire leader, joins in to claim the orchard too. The situation quickly spirals, and half the orchard ends up in flames. But rather than let things completely fall apart, Victor and Nova take a stand. They convince their fellow teens to go after the Lightstone and Darkstone, magical items that power each of their communities. Once they unite the two stones in a hidden cauldron chamber where the bloodfruit roots run deep, the orchard magically restores itself, and a dangerous pulse that had been threatening nearby monsters is neutralized. The twist is that two stones were actually just halves of a single moonstone, which has been a key element in the Zombies universe ever since it was revealed as the source of the werewolves' power. This discovery helps both groups remember that they used to collaborate and that their annual moonstone ritual once ensured prosperity for everyone. Unfortunately, over time, distrust drove them apart and caused the system to collapse. At the same time, Zed and Addison also have a moment of reflection. Seeing how much effort Victor and Nova put into bridging the divide between vampires and daywalkers reminds them of their own early struggles, and the friends they left behind in Seabrook. They realize they've been so focused on chasing their goals that they've been neglecting what really matters, their relationships. So they make a decision to slow down and appreciate the people in their lives a little more. Now, even though Disney hasn't officially confirmed Zombies 5, the movie definitely plants some seeds for what could come next. It's not just that new characters like Victor and Nova are being set up to take over, there are also new supporting characters like Ray, Vera, and Vargas, daywalkers and vampires who could become major players moving forward. The biggest hint about a potential sequel comes right at the end. After Victor and Nova embrace, suggesting their love story is just the beginning, a massive whirlpool appears in the ocean nearby. It's a sudden, mysterious moment that feels like it's teasing the arrival of aquatic creatures. Fans who remember the animated epilogue from Zombies 3 might recall that mermaids were already introduced in that short. So this scene strongly hints that mermaids could be next in line for the spotlight. If that's the direction Zombies 5 takes, it could breathe some new life into the series, especially if it explores underwater cultures and how they fit into this world of werewolves, aliens, zombies, vampires, and now daywalkers. But again, it'll only happen if the numbers add up and Disney sees potential in continuing the franchise. From the looks of it, Zombies 4 is both a conclusion and a new beginning. It closes the book on Zed and Addison's journey while opening a fresh chapter for Victor and Nova. But even though this transition feels natural in the story, it's hard to know whether fans will embrace a full handoff. A bunch of them are really attached to the original leads, and without that connection, the next movie might struggle to hit the same emotional notes. Still, there's definitely room to grow. As Milo and Meg said, this world can go in all kinds of directions, whether that means more vampires, the rise of mermaids, or even newer factions we haven't seen yet. There's a lot of unexpected territory, and even though Zed and Addison might take a backseat going forward, their influence will still be felt through their guidance, their legacy, and maybe even their behind-the-scenes work as producers. So now the ball's in Disney's court. If Zombies 4 proves to be a hit, then Zombies 5 might just be on the horizon, bringing with it a whole new wave of music, monsters, and meaningful lessons about community, trust, and friendship, just like the best parts of the series always have. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop, and if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.